that are in cramped spaces any longer, okay? Excuse me. The first time I worked in an event, I made $400 that night. Today, not even, because I couldn't get to the first person or the second person. So it's just too much. It's like, if it's in the middle of the city, don't sign me up, okay? But I do like working events from the fairgrounds. At the fairgrounds, I'll do it. Because you know why? I can find a way to slide in and out of there. I can't find a way to slide in and out of the Raymond James Stadium. They be blocking the roads off and making you not turn left when you should be able to turn left, and making you not turn right. It's just a mess. So I was a little frustrated today because of that, okay? Trying to get down there because Chris Brown was in town, okay? And I should have been able to rack up on the Chris Brown situation. And I'm sure somebody did. It wasn't me, okay? So Chris Brown is in town. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to work this event. Like, you know, Chris Brown pops into town. Of course it was. I'm just sharing my frustrations of the night, okay? Because, all right, I'm okay. I'm working, trying to make sure that I can get my new place, okay? And the thing about it, okay, so much. I have nothing. So, like, I'm going to be starting from scratch. So, I have to get new furniture. I got to get dishes. I got to get soap. I got to get towels. I got to get blankets. I got to get everything. So, girl. Anyway, that's not what I was talking about. What I was talking about was the fact that I will not be working in the middle of the city events. Okay? Today, they had the Chris Brown joint. I was like, okay, I'm going to work this. Getting around the city was a nightmare. A total nightmare. So, I mean, I don't have the keys yet, but I'm getting a place. And I found the place. I did my application. They want my deposit, which I need to put my deposit down. It's not refundable though, so I've been holding off because I ain't like that part. Because they're talking about non-refundable. And then, on top of that, they talk about, so this one's non-refundable, and I don't have the option to do a refundable deposit. And so they just take that deposit, and then they're talking about, oh, well, if you happen to get charged some stuff when you move out, you have to pay. Like, oh, y'all got me. So I was griping with that for a second, but I think I'm still going to do it because it's like a really decent place. The reviews online suck though, I ain't gonna lie. So I should probably weigh that out. But at this point, it's just like, I just need to get a place because I can't be staying in my office. I need to be able to make money at the office. I need to be able to lease up my suites because that's a source of revenue for me. So I can't close up my revenue by sleeping in the office. No, that's not gonna work anymore. So I have to get a place. So I did fill out the application for the place, and I just need to give them my deposit and then my first month, and then probably gonna be, I don't know if I'm gonna, because I think I should have at American Signature Furniture, I should have a credit with them, but I know that they switched their financing company, so I don't know if that starts me off at the beginning. Because if that does, because my credit was up to like $5,000. So hopefully it doesn't start me back to like the lowest amount, which is like $300 or $700, which is sucky because I can't get shit with that. So yeah, I've been working my ass off trying to get the stuff that I need, get the money I need, and so I can get the stuff I need. I'm going to need everything basically. I'm starting from scratch. I'm going to go and get some of my stuff from the old place. Some of my stuff, like my lock shelves, my IKEA shelves. I love those things. I might get those. My desk, I might get my desk. My artwork, I might get my artwork. Some of my artwork anyway. I don't want to take too much stuff. I'm just going to take the stuff that I just can't part with. My books, obviously I have to get my books. And then everything else is staying. Maybe my clothes, obviously my journals, like my personal stuff. Probably everything else is staying though. I'm not taking the bed. I'm not taking the table. I'm not taking the TV stands and all that shit. I'm not taking none of that. I'm just taking the stuff that is for me. Yeah. An exciting chapter. Yeah. Getting all the shit that you need, that you bought already, again, is not very exciting. I will say that much, okay? But I will say, I am excited. But, you know, there's just some worries. I think the worries more so fall in the line with, like, how the apartment company is going to act, like, how they going to be. So that makes me wonder, maybe I should just try to go and find a private landlord. But I already filled out the application with them. I already paid them my little money. And I don't know. I'm still looking, though. Like, honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I'm still looking. But I haven't called any private landlords yet. Because I wanted to get a house, which I need to get a house. Because the kids, they need space. Honestly, they need space. But I don't mind sacrificing for a couple, you know, for a year or two, just to kind of really set things up. So, I don't know. It's everything happening all at once right now. You know, it's just all shit happening. This car is ugly as hell. It's just ugly. It's like the ugliness is overload, okay? So I'm stuck with an ear infection. Ah! No! Not an ear infection! How could this have happened? How did this happen? Anyway, what I started off saying was this. I'm not working them events that's in the middle of the city no more. Because you can't get nowhere. They be blocking off the streets. Okay? They be like shutting shit down. Like they be blocking the streets. I was like, I'm trying to get around this motherfucker. Nope, they don't want you to get around it. They want to guide and, you know, the traffic and shit like that. And I get so that things don't get out of hand, because there was people crossing the fucking dividers and stuff. And it was like driving over dividers and shit. I did it once. I did. I did it once, but it was towards the end. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I decided. Now the ones at the fairgrounds, I will do the shows at the fairgrounds, because I know how to slide in and out of there. You know what I mean? I know how to slide in there. But in the city, you can't slide. There's no sliding. There's no lane. There's no way to slide. So that's frustrating, because that was a nightmare. A total nightmare. Okay? A total nightmare. So yeah, there's that. In the meantime, I'm just, you know, here living life, okay? Working my ass off, okay? Realizing this is too much stress. Like, it's too hard to do this stuff. And I don't mean hard as in impossible to do. It's very possible to do. I just think that it's inefficient, okay? So I'm going to find a more efficient way for me, you know, which I've already done. I've already found a couple of more efficient ways to generate. How are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's life going for you? Are things good? I know they are. I hope they are. And I know that they will get better if they aren't as great as they should be, right? They will. They will, because I know they will. They will, because you're awesome. And awesomeness breeds more awesomeness, right? So when you're awesome, it's just like you just magnetize more awesomeness, okay? And I know you're awesome, so you're just going to magnetize more awesome towards you, you know? That's how I know. Ear infection. God damn it. How'd you get an ear infection? Shit. I forget what Layla Africa said about ear infections and what you need to take. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry about the ear infection. That's sucky. You know, it's like, bitch, an ear infection. How the fuck you get an ear infection? And I'm not saying this to you. I'm thinking, this is me visualizing you looking in the mirror like, really, bitch? How you get an ear infection, right? Do you talk to yourself like that? Because I do. I be in the mirror like, girl, what happened? Why'd you do that? A real nigga radio. Seriously, I be why did you do that? How you get an ear infection? Does it give you a fever? Like, do you have a fever or anything? Like, what are the symptoms and stuff? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry you got an ear infection. I rebuke you, ear infection. I've been working nonstop. I've been working, sleeping for 4 or 5 hours, going back at it after my 6-hour break. Oh, terrible. And this is right before school starts again. When does school start back? Oh my God. Is it contagious? Is ear infection contagious? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think ear infection is contagious. But like, the stuff that goes with ear infection could be contagious. Like, oh no, not this week. You need a week for recovery. I know. I know that probably sounds very unrealistic. Like, girl, nobody's taking on a recovery week after recovering. It is contagious? Oh my goodness. I was thinking like, okay, like, so for instance, if ear infection comes with fever, okay, fever's contagious, you know, or if ear infection comes with, I don't know, maybe like cold or something, like a cough, maybe that could be contagious. I didn't think the ear infection itself, you know. Goodness Lord. It's so much going on. I'm here for life, honestly, though. Even still, with all the little bullshit that could be bullshitting, I'm still here for life, though. Like, I'm still here for it, you know? Today, somebody got in my car, and they were telling me about... So first off, they get in my car, and they're asking me what my name was. You know, they said it wrong, and then I told them how to say it correctly, because don't mess with my name. My mom named me this. My dad and my mom named me this. Say it right, okay? Say it right. But anyway, so they got in the car and they was like, oh my God, you're normal. And I was like, what? They were like, the last guy was a serial killer. I was like, a serial killer? So they got in the car talking about the last guy was a serial killer because he sounded like Eeyore, basically. He was like, I don't know, something like that. But anyway, they were telling me that first off, where they were going was probably like 7 to 10 miles from where I picked them up. They get in the car and he was like, oh, I dropped something and da-da-da. And I was like, okay. So then they start talking about key fobs and stuff like that. And it dawned on me that they were talking about key fobs because he had dropped his key fob while he was on his bike. I guess he has a bike. He dropped the key fob and they couldn't start the, what's that thing called? Motorcycle. So they had to get in an Uber, go back to the place, find the key, and then get another Uber back to their little, what do you call that, motorcycle thing, right? And so I was like, oh my God. So I was like, oh, how did you find it? You know, basically. And I know how he found it because, you know, he kind of told me the story. He's like, well, basically, I just remembered like what was happening and da-da-da. And then I remembered when we heard something fall, and then we went back to that place and started looking around. So they literally lost their key fob. Okay. Their key fob fell off of their bike while they were driving. And they drove all the way to where they were going and didn't realize the key fob was gone until it was time for them to go from the other place. So they went back to where they remembered, last remembered little things happening, and they actually had to search for the key fob, and they found it. To me, I was like, that's actually like a great story. Like, that's a great testament of faith and a great testament. And I don't mean this in a religious way, guys. I gotta have you guys understand this. Listen, I want you guys to be clear. When I'm talking about stuff, I'm not talking about from a religious capacity. Although, if you want to take it from a religious standpoint, then do it. By all means, do you, right? But I want to be letting you guys know that that's not how I'm presenting it to you, because I want you to know that you can have faith outside of the construct of religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to have religion and faith are not, you know what I mean? They don't have to be simultaneously occurring, if that makes sense. So anyway, I was just like, wow, that's like a great story. And it's a great way to, like, when things are going tough, and then you have a situation like that occur, that's the perfect time to think of those times where something crazy happens, or something like, you know, that really helps you solidify, like, trust in the process, trust in your knowing, trust in, you know, you're being blessed and things like that. So that's something that I wanted to share with you guys, because I hope that you guys are able to, you know, document moments in time in your life where something happens in a way that blesses you in one way or another, that allows you also at one point in time in the future to look back at that moment to help remind you of times where maybe you were going through something difficult, or maybe something happened that seemed impossible to get through. And then when you look back on those moments where something seemingly miraculous happens, you know, you can identify that that is a moment where having faith, or having knowing and trusting the process, really helped me to get the results that I was looking for, or to, you know, get good success in things. So anyway, I just want to share that with y'all because it's not, you know, there's so many things that can happen, and sometimes those little moments like that, like, you know, him dropping his key and then going back 7 miles, didn't know where he dropped it, right? He didn't know where he dropped it, but he had the moments that stood out in his mind. He was able to go back, track his steps, and go back to that place and found it. Like, he had to look for it though, and he found it though. So, like, that's a really good story to kind of, you know, it's about trusting the process. One, it's about having faith that things are going to be all right, that things are going to turn out well for you. You know, sometimes it's difficult to see, honestly. Trust, like, sometimes you feel like you're in, like, the darkest tunnel, and it's like, bitch, how we gonna get through this shit? Trust me. I'm in one right now. Seriously. The tunnel is dark, but I feel like I've been through this type of tunnel so many times that I was like, I'm not tripping right now, right? Like, I'm not tripping because I feel like, okay, I've been here before. So it's like, I can figure my way through this. But I will say, the first couple times that I went through, like, times like this, it was just like, oh no. I was like, whoa, like this. I was depressed. The last time I went through a time where like my livelihood was kind of shaking up, I became depressed. I was depressed for a little bit about that. That wasn't my worst depression. It was just one where I was just sleeping a lot, and you know what I mean? Just not really active in life, and not really responsive, and just kind of, you know, kind of mellow. So right now, like, the current place that I'm in right now, I kind of just am using it as a place to build from. Like, you know, I'm using it as like, okay, I can build from this place, or I can grow from here, or like just using it to say, okay, well, how do I want to see things happen? And that's all I got right now. Okay, that's all I got. Okay. And I just have to trust the process. I'm goofy as hell, ain't I? But I'm just saying, like, I just have to trust the process. And so that's exactly what I'm gonna do, you know? So what you mean a killer? I know. That's what they said, though. They said he was a serial killer. And I think that they said it because of the way he was sounding. He was sounding all like super Eeyore. Like, you know how Eeyore sounds like, okay, I'm just living life. So they said that he was sounding like that and just kind of weird. They got weird vibes from him. So they, when they got in the car with me, they were like a normal person. I was like, what? Like, what's wrong with y'all? They literally like, the last guy was a serial killer or something. So anyway, you know, guys, look. I don't even know what I'm going to say. I ain't going to say nothing else. I'm just going to leave it there. You know, life is life. Life is life and life is life. But, man, look. Some people say the life is short. And if life is short, then spend that short life with as many happy moments, smiling moments, or joyful moments as you can. You know, stack those moments up. You know, and that's the way I look at it, because, you know, there are going to be those times where undoubtedly you are going to have a difficult moment right now. Like, there's no other way we can get around this. You know, when you're going on a road, like, you know, maybe you're going on like a road trip or something like that, and you're going to hit traffic sometimes. You're going on a road trip. Let's say you're going on a road trip from, let's say, Miami, Florida to Michigan, you know. Maybe you're going to like Lansing, Michigan or something like that. At some point, especially when you're driving through Atlanta during the daytime or Nashville, you're going to hit traffic. But you got to still keep going through that traffic, even if you don't like to. Even if you decide, okay, I'm going to take the back roads. Even on the back roads, you can find traffic, you know? So it's I'm kind of just looking at it right now where it's like, just what is your perspective? You know, what is your perspective? Maybe sometimes changing our perspective can really help us to have a better experience, you know? I'm so sorry you have an earache. I mean, an ear infection. That's tragic, honestly. And I don't have my books with me now to be able to look and see if there's anything we can look up and find and test out. Hey, wait, you said you had like onion juice or something? Like, what? Onion juice? I know that onion juice is good for like antibacterial, antifungal or something like that. It's got a lot of the onion properties are also similar to some of the garlic properties, but not as many as garlic. So garlic's got like some majors, but onions is like a step down, just a little bit. So let me go back and look at your comment and see what it said. Oh man, not fever. No. So I tried onion juice and nothing. Not onion juice. What's onion juice supposed to help with? Does it help with ear infection? Oh my goodness. Was it good? Maybe soup. I don't know. I don't know about ear infection, honestly. Only one of my kids got ear infection. That was, who was it? Which one was it? I don't remember. It was so long ago. Only one time, only one of my kids got ear infection. And it was so fast. Like, well, I don't know. It was a long time ago. Like, so long ago. I'm sitting here trying to remember what happened. But yeah, only one of the kids got ear infection. So it wasn't like I had multiple experiences with ear infection to know. You know, like, ear infection is one of those things that I can't say I've had, like, okay, like fever, the kids, you know, when they would get sick, they would almost always come with a fever. So I knew, okay, fever, these remedies right here gonna work like this. you know, I had those remedies down pat because they, you know, I'd used them so many times. Ear infection was that one thing that I had to just figure it out. And it's almost like once you figure it out, because it never came back again or it never happened again, you forget. You forget. So I don't know. I'm too grown for this. I feel it. I do. I feel it. I do. And I think you're right. But also, how do we know? Like, you know, what happens? Like, how do you get ear infection? What does ear infection come from? Like, what is a part of that process? So, you know, I get what you're saying. Totally get it. But also, we don't really know. Like, what causes ear infection? What makes that happen? I've never in my life had an ear infection. No, I'm serious. I understand what you're saying. I don't know if I've ever had an ear infection. Not that I can recall, but I don't know. Because, you know, I don't know what happened when I was a baby. So. But also, you know, I feel you. I'm too grown for this shit. Spirit be funny as hell, or just how things happen sometimes. I wonder what that means on a spiritual level. Oh, that's a great question. See, I'm going to look that up. I'm going to research that. Like, what could that be attached to? Ear infection, what is that attached to? Because I feel like there's this study, and I don't know what it's called, but there's like, so every illness has like a spiritual meaning to it, and also like a physical, emotional meaning to it. So it's like all of these various different elements of an illness, because an illness manifests from something, right? So that's an interesting little thought that I would like to explore. Like, how are these things manifesting? What are they manifesting from? Like, what causes these things to manifest? Or what are they attached to? Like, for instance, I once read somewhere that if you eat a lot of potatoes or something, then that's, I forget what it was, but it's like attached to like a need for shit. I know. It's like attached to like I don't know if it's a comfort thing. I don't think it is. It's something else. It's like a specific thing that is attached to on a emotional or a mental level. And then each illness also has these various different like components to it. So it has a spiritual component to it. It has a mental and an emotional component to it. So I want to get into that. I really would love to get into kind of studying that and breaking that down and seeing what that all was about, and, you know, getting some understanding about that. So anyway, we'll see. So I'm pretty sure I have... Oh no! Not the new COVID! How? I know, it's so dramatic. But I'm just saying, like, what? Wait a minute, there's a new COVID? Come on, these people. Oh my God. Eats a chip. Okay, I'm not gonna eat a chip. I won't. Okay, fine. I won't eat a chip. I didn't know there was a new COVID though. That is... It's like they're gonna drag this on. They're gonna drag it on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Before you know, it's gonna be like COVID 12.5. You know how iPhone drops a new iPhone every year? COVID gonna have a new COVID every year. We got COVID 2028, guys. COVID 2029. COVID 29 is taking its lap around the United States of America. That's crazy. But how did you get it? Like, were you out with like family or friends or something? Oh my goodness. Gotta be careful. People be nasty though. Like, you gotta, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta really, really, really remember that. Because, look, people be nasty. Like, people be like outside. They be taking this shit in the public bathrooms. Don't wash their hands. Like, they will do this and then touch stuff. And then touch everything. And the thing is, okay, if you, I don't usually cough into my hand because I know I touch stuff. So I cough into my arm. And that's something that I think I picked up in some sort of health class or whatever. Like they tell you cough into your arm or whatever for that reason. So that because your hand, you touch everything. So it makes sense, right? But some people have like a big ass sneeze. If I have like a big sneeze and a big snot and you know what I mean? Big sneeze and I do it in my hand, I'm going to wash my hand or put like, you know, sanitizer on my hand because, you know, you just, all them germs just right there, you know, all on your hand. And you want to touch somebody's baby. No! Don't touch someone's baby. Wait, what is this name? Martavius? Is that name? Hello. Welcome. How are you? My dad does Uber. He got sick first. Oh, no! Okay, so it came from dad. You know, though, okay, so something that, well, you know, I will say this, though. You know something about, like, your dad getting sick and then bringing it home to the family? It will build up you guys' immune system, too, though. But also, it's still like, Dad, come on, Dad. I get it. Let me shut up. I'm just going to just be quiet. Just for a second. So I looked it up and it means listening to our spirit. The ear infection? Oh, so are you listening to your spirit or not listening to the spirit? Because it's an ear infection that kind of is like a health thing, right? Like, does that mean that's what you need to do? You need to listen to spirit. We're going to close your goddamn ears up until you start listening. Damn, like, why you got to close my ears down to make me hear? Like, isn't there a better way? No. There's not. We tried. You know, spirit that tried. And they said, so you ain't going to keep playing with us. Okay, you need to. I get it. You know what recently has been happening? I've been getting ringing in my ears where I remember being when I was younger. And I would hear people saying that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Ugh. I'm tired. Like I said, I've been working like a lot. So like I'm like literally I'm working as much as I can. I go to sleep for like 4, 5 hours, just depending on, you know, whatever I feel like doing, and then I get up and go get myself dressed and go back and work. So anyway, yeah. That's why I need to just get my place and just really just, you know, that I just need to get set in and settled in, because I feel like I just need to do that, because it's just going to be, it's going to allow me to kind of really establish a routine moving forward. So sorry about that. That was just my own little stuff coming into the conversation, which didn't need to happen. So back to you. So, okay, I was just talking about recently. So, okay, when I was younger, people would say, oh, my ears is ringing, that must mean blah, 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 right? And I never understood. I was like, what? Ringing? Like, you know, I never got it until recently. Recently, my ears started ringing. And I was like, oh, it's a real thing. Like, you know, and I think I might have had, like, over the past years, I may have had like 1, maybe 2 good times where my ear was ringing, but it's all within the last probably like year or so. But anyway, so that was never an experience that I had, but it started happening recently. And so it's so interesting that you ended up having an ear infection and saying that, what it may mean, because you mentioning the ear infection is reminding me of the ringing in the ears. And that's kind of something that I thought also, because, you know, it's like, well, the physical side of this means that you need to go get your fucking ears checked, right? But of course, that is that's the side of society that doesn't look at spirituality as an important part of the whole person. Okay. And so, yeah, there's that. Now, obviously, yeah, it's a good idea to still make sure you get your shit checked out and everything. But I don't know, this ringing in the ear thing is kind of interesting to me. It's kind of interesting. Because people used to say it, and I used to be like, what are you talking about? Like, what is it ringing in my ear? And now it's happening to me, and I'm like, what? Like, it's really happening. And a couple times it came with some really good messages too. Like, so anyway, Spirit is trying to tell you, you need to listen because you not listening. Is that what's happening here? When does it normally ring? Well, it's not a normal thing. Like I said, it's overall, I could say probably on one hand how many times it's happened. It's probably less than that. It's probably like 3 fingers. Right? But I'm saying, so it started happening recently within the last 3 to 6 months. Like I said, loosely could potentially, possibly, maybe in the last couple of years, maybe had happened one other time, but probably not. So when does it happen? So I haven't started documenting it because it wasn't like that normal of an occurrence. By the 3rd time that it happened, I was like, okay, this is real. Like this, you know what I mean? Like the first time it happened, I was like, what the fuck? You know? And I definitely did not take the time to like think about it. The second time I was like, okay, no, this is real. Like it really happened. So the second time was kind of like recognizing that it's really, really happening. And then the 3rd time I'm like, okay, what does this mean? So yeah, I haven't fully figured it out yet, but you know. Because a lot of people say that means somebody talking about you. You know what I mean? And that could be it, but I'm not trying to be here. I think Spirit knows I'm not here to sit here and try to figure out who's talking about me and what they're saying. I don't need to do that. Like, if you have something to say to me, please come say it to me, okay? Like, if you really have something to say, come say it to me. I will hear you out. I will listen if it makes sense, you know, to do so. But to try to figure it out, it's like, and most likely it's gonna come to me in my dreams anyway, so I don't need to figure it out. That's what I'm saying. Like, most likely it's gonna, if I need to know something, it's gonna come to me anyway. So it's not like it's something that I have to go and seek to find out, seek and ye shall find type stuff. So I don't know, but I wonder, you know, for you, like what this is all about, you know? I don't know what happened last night. I was at one of the chargers that I normally go to. It must have been because it was Friday night and it was getting busy down there. I was like, oh no, I got to go. Folks was walking around. I was like, oh no, like what's happening? And then the police officers come down the street like 130, just all you hear is them revving up. I'm like, okay. Then the fire department or the ambulance. First the ambulance, then the police officers, 2 police officers, and then the fire truck. And I was like, okay, obviously sleeping is not recommended in this type of environment. So, and I don't think I was trying to go to sleep anyway, but I like to relax, you know, when I'm charging most times. So eventually, once the fire truck came and stuff, I was like, I'm getting the hell. Matter of fact, after the second police officer came and flew by, I was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. Because there was some guy walking by and another guy had already walked by. And I was just like, see, this is just it's too much going on around here. Let me get the fuck on. So I got up out of there because it was just too much going on. Over here, it'll be quiet, but you never know. It's more people starting to show up around here lately. You never know who the characters are that are literally around you, you know. I don't trust nobody. Well, I can't say nobody. There's a couple of people I trust, but still. that. Okay. I do. What ended up happening, so I usually charge at the end when I'm done working, I charge. And usually that's like early in the morning or the next day. But what happened today? So today I didn't charge before I went out, and I didn't charge last night either because I was so tired. I was like, I'm going to sleep. And that's what I did. I went to sleep. I slept for like 4 hours, 5 hours, and then I got up, and then I was ready to go back out. And then I had my kid. That's what happened. While I was charging, my son was like, I had to go and pick him up, and then some sort of stuff, mom duties. I had some mom duties going on there. So the mom duties kind of kept me from really being able to charge fully. And then I charged partially and kind of did some fares back and forth. And then, so now I'm charging again because I'm still actually going to go and do some more work. So I'm not done for the night, but I need to sit down for real and calculate whether or not this is actually economically efficient, whether it makes sense economically. So it's time to do the final review. Okay, so sorry about that. So I don't know, I had plans. Now I'm forced to stay inside. Oh no! Oh no! What kind of plans did you have? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. That sucks. I mean, that sucks if you wanted to go out and then you didn't, right? Like, otherwise, I mean, yeah, no, when you have plans and then you have to, like, not do your plans because of illness, yeah, that pretty much sucks. Good night. So anyway, okay, so here's what I really wanted to get to. So I really just was talking about the fact that I've decided to no longer do inner city events because it's just too much. It's too much of a nightmare. I'm done with that. I've changed my life. I've changed my mind about that. At the fairgrounds, I don't mind because I can slide in and out. You know what I mean? I can go in different directions, and there's ways for me to get around and get people in and out of the events. But in the middle of the city, there is no way to get people in and out of events. You're just stuck. If you're stuck, you're stuck. So yeah. So there's that. So I do hope that that you're doing well. I know that there's been so much going on lately. There was an 8.6, I think, magnitude earthquake in Russia. Now, I got to remind you guys that we've been talking about weather and how things are changing on the earth because of the frequency changes, because of the planetary changes, because of our vibrational collective changes, etc., etc. Like, all of this stuff is happening like at the same time. So recently in Russia, there was an 8.6 magnitude, and don't forget, a week before that, there was the 7.3 magnitude earthquake in Alaska. So keep in mind, the earth is responding. For me, this is just more proof that a couple things. First thing is more proof that we are more powerful than we think we are. Okay. Because a part of the reason why these vibrational shifts are happening is because of us. Okay. Flat out. But also, it is also just kind of telltale signs of, like, like we all did experience like the revelation and reading of those books and stuff like that when we were younger. Our parents would share those with us, or when we would go to church, we would, read those, or even after I became a Muslim, like, you just read about certain things, certain prophecies, right? The only thing, though, that I believe is different, it's like I can see these things happening and occurring, and I can clock them. You can straight up clock them. But I really feel like there's more to the story, right? Religion didn't give you the full details. It didn't give you all of the bells and whistles. It didn't give you all the information that you need. I feel like there's more to it. And I'm not going to talk about all the more to it that there is, but we're coming in a time now where we understand vibrational frequency. They understand vibrational frequency because they're creating devices to track your vibration, to be able to read your vibration, all that stuff like that. So they're aware of this stuff too, and they probably are in preparation to create the technology, which is pretty much all they've been doing, is creating the technology to either replicate, stop it, or make adjustments to whatever is occurring or happening. But I think that's why it is important for us to be in tune, because when we are in tune, even if they spent $1 billion, $2 billion, $1 trillion on a device, if we were all collectively tapped in, tuned in, it still wouldn't be enough. We still would outrank it. So there's that. So I feel like I just want to keep encouraging you guys to continue, your journey, and sometimes your journey needs a break. Sometimes you take a break from your journey. And what I mean by that is this: sometimes you do some things that are fun, or you go enjoy yourself or whatever, stuff like that. None of your spiritual practices, the things that you do on your spiritual level, is to keep you from having fun or anything like that. There are going to be some times where you need to isolate, or some times where you need to take some time away from a group or whatever. And sometimes that can be because, like, there's information that's coming into you, and maybe like the group that you're attached to they're not aware of it, or they're not really receptive to it. It's not really their message. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes when a download comes to me, it's not for everybody, right? And that's just the facts. Sometimes when a vision comes to me on what I want to do or accomplish, some people may not understand it because it wasn't given to them. My visions are given to me just like your visions are given to you. And when my visions are given to me and your visions are given to you, they're given to you for you to be able to either fully express them in life or to carry out those visions. Or to share those visions, right? And sometimes I share my visions here with you guys because I know that sometimes those visions really aren't about me. They're about someone, in the world that needs to hear this message, which I think today's message is kind of similar to that. You need to know that just keep going, man. And maybe you need to take a break. But after you take your break, okay, after you've had your fun, get back at it, And that's kind of how I kind of operate with things. Sometimes I take a break, of course. I haven't taken a break in a little while. I don't know. I've been working a lot, so I kind of feel like that is kind of a little bit of a shift. Anyway, the point is, do what you can do. You are not required to do more than you can do. You're not asked to do more than you can do. More pressure is not put on you than you can bear. And that's just something that you want to be aware of, You have a choice on, you have a choice. And the choice is, you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And that's not very helpful, Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done with that. I don't have anything else to say, I think. I have to change this. It works. I just feel like I need it to work better or in a different way. was doing that. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done. I don't have any cards with me, so I can't do any tarot. And I don't have any downloads that are share worthy or that I want to share or that need to be shared, because the downloads that I've been getting, I feel, are just kind of personal stuff, nothing needing to be shared with the collective audience right now. Oh, actually there are a couple, but I don't have the right words for them right now, so when I have the right words, then I will share. When I have the right words. Okay. I want to thank you guys, whoever you are, wherever you are in the world. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video, and smash the like button. Smash the like button. And I will talk to you on the next one.